again. Thank God it's Friday. It's been a long week. It's been a successful week and quite profitable. If you were following the S&P trade recommendations I was putting out, you would have done okay if you had bought at those times that I was saying. You could see like a clear buy here because the SSI line crossed the 50%, and what we wanted to do is wait for that trend line to point down, and that's confirmation over time. So you hold on to your profits as the SSI line ticks down. It tells us that the retail guys are shorting it using the 21 moving average. However, the SSI line is ticking up, so if we get across, it tells us that they're going long. If they go long, price will come down. Okay, so just bear that in mind. I am going to take it easy today because I caught this move and I made some really nice profits, so I don't really want to give profits back to the market. We've got quad witching as well, so I'll put a link on this YouTube video about quad witching. We've got, basically it's a contract expiry, but we're talking about trillions of dollars, so it's a big deal. It's going to be very volatile. So just a little bit of data here, CAD data and some US data. Nothing too much to be concerned with, and we've got most of the risk event out the way, and that was the FOMC interest rate hike, and the BOE hiked as well, but there was a 40% chance of them hiking 50 basis points, but they only did 25 basis points, so there's a slight disappointment from the BOE. So that's that, nothing to be too concerned with. Let's look at some stuff. Let me show you Dixie. In fact, where are we? Daily. Now Dixie, if we zoom out, if you remember, we've got this median line, it's old, and so we've got some support here at the 98.28 area. R2 is still holding, and it has held for a good while. Monthly pivots there, your next month's pivot's higher, so we're actually bullish projection for April. We've got a bearish ABCD, so I think maybe there's a little bit of a bearish confluence here, R2. So I can show you some dollar pairs. Let's show you that. In fact, let's go to this one. So pound yen, the pound yen was SLC was really high. It was massively high. I don't know if it was like a bug or whatever, but there's the new SLCs there. Okay, so I'll show you AU. AU was getting the SLC, I think. NU certainly was. There we go. 74.11. So I don't know if we probed it. It's hard to see. Zoom in. Oh, no, I don't think we did. We came like a. Oh, let's have a look. Actually, market watch. What's the high? High low. AU. High 74.08. Yeah, we came 2 pips away. So that was very close. So NU, we can do NU. We'll keep this on here so we can see NU as well. I think this had probed it. That's so close, 2 pips. Yeah, there was the stop loss cluster. See that blue line? So we did probe it, and they moved them a bit higher. A little bit of reduction in size, so they did get stopped out, as we can see. The new one is 69.25. It's possible because we are a buy. FX Factory are very skewed. They're very long, and they're getting paid. So it might be worth watching FX Factory. If they're going to be clued up about a direction, we might want to follow those guys. They're really long NU. Look what happened. So yeah, keep an eye on that maybe, FX Factory. And the one below is 68, 69. I'll probably do EU and GU, and maybe finish up with UJ. EU, where are we? God, there you go. EU, there we go. One above is 111.50, one below is 109.23, and we are 50-50. Yeah, it's teetering, isn't it? It's very sideways. They're going long, ever so slightly on the average line over time. There. And because they went long, we can fall. Okay, so we've got to be careful. We don't want to be caught off guard, especially if it crosses the 50% line. So it could be a decent sell, but you want things to align. You need to look at technicals as well. GU, because we had that disappointment from the BOE. And it might be an idea, just if you've made profits, it might be a good idea just to hold on to your profits today. I think it could be a bit of a chop fest. 13210 and 13065. Got a bit of a supply here on this candle. We've got rejected off it as well. So that area there is 13181. So that might come into play again. Alright, we are a sell. FX Factory is skewed as well. So that's interesting. And we'll finish up with UJ because I put out a signal yesterday, got stopped out as a -1R. My stop could have been a bit wider. It was at 45 and we actually came down to 35. And the trouble is this MR3 level, I don't know if we should be above it necessarily. We're probing the SLC now, so it's 3.5 in size. If it gets drastically smaller, we might see a reversal because we're very, very skewed on the sentiment. These guys are getting blown up, these guys and these guys. And if IG get blown up as well, then it could be a good sign of a reversal. Technically we're overdone because of MR3 and we're taking the liquidity out as well. And the thing that concerns me is this volume node. It's not a volume node, but it's a cluster. Like a node, I suppose you could say, of stops. So 120, that's where we might be ultimately targeting. 120, it's sticking out like a sore thumb. You're just looking at things sticking out, and that's the likely targets. Right, so very tricky. Yeah, I think we might inevitably come up here. On the other side of the argument is that we're technically, you could argue we're overdone, MR3. We're only 18 days in the month and we exceeded MR3. Taking the stop loss cluster out, and we've got some resistance here from that candle wick, which I can show you there. So we're entering into supply right now. So yeah, I mean, technically, sentimentally, we are a buy currently. And at the static level and the dynamic level, we're a buy on the S&P, so it kind of makes sense that UJ would do well. So it's a bit tricky. I'm not sure what to do with this, to be honest. I was long, but then I got stopped out. Could take a long, maybe, but maybe if we get above this high, 119.12, then we can target 120. I think that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna sit in my hands. So I'm gonna keep an eye on 119.20. I might put an order in 119.10-ish. I'll put an order in up there because we would have escaped that supply, and then we're making a beeline for the SLC. So I think that's going to be the strategy. If that doesn't materialise, it's okay. The orders are good because if you don't get them filled, it's not a loss. It's just time. That's the only thing that you've lost. So maybe an order there to target that. Just stop here. 118.77. It's going to be like a 30 pip stop, 35 pip stop to target that, maybe. But I think maybe I might just come back on Monday, reluctant to give back profits because I had a good week on the S&P, so I don't really want to get stopped out again. It'd be a bit silly. So that's probably what I might suggest on Monday. We look at UJ and then we can see what we can see, what happens. And also we've got the quad witch in today as well. And there's going to be lots of money going back and forward, so it's going to be tricky. So be careful, trade safely, and have a good weekend. I'll be back on the weekend with a video. It's about media manipulation. It's something that you guys need to be aware of, and hopefully it will help. Some psychology about trading. So have a good one, and I'll speak to you on the weekend with that video.